South of Midnight is the greatest success in gaming history, and you better not even question that, you evil chud.
If you have made your entire internet presence shitting on people, attacking people, poo pooing on stuff in order to continue to rile up a base of disenfranchised young men, you're a piece of shit. South of Midnight, people really like it. It is a third person action adventure game from Compulsion. They're the people.
Yeah, people really like it. How many people, you ask? Oh no, maybe five. Four of them are the developers.
Who made We Happy Few. It's sitting at a 77 on Metacritic. It just came out on April 9th. What they are doing is
I'm sure the Metacritic score matters a lot when no one played it.
is shitting on this game and acting like this game, just like every other game that they've decided that they don't like, is indicative of the beginning of the end or the final nail in the coffin of anything that ever features anybody but a white guy. We have to go back.
That is a lot of complete nonsense. Okay, we enjoy plenty of things that are not led by white characters and males at that. So this idea that something is just disliked because of that is complete nonsense and obviously stupid.
A pretty long ways to get into why the Chuds hate South of Midnight. The main reason why the Chuds don't like South of Midnight is because there's a black woman in it, and she's the main character, and because
Yeah, you know how we knew she's black? Because she only has a mom.
it's unapologetically black and set in the American South, filled with black people and black music and all of those things. The other reason why they really don't like it is because when Gamergate 2 first started kicking off
Oh, there she goes again, yapping about Gamergate. Yeah, well, you knew that this is gonna happen.
last year in March, people were coming for community managers and coming for Sweet Baby and then also community managers. That was their MO, and we've talked about this a bunch.
No one was going after community managers. The problem with these community managers is that most of them are mentally ill and insane. Okay, and the fact that most community managers just feel the need to try and call their potential player base stupid, uneducated, racist, and all of those big words is kind of hilarious, and it always backfires. Surprising. Please tell me more that this game is not for me and how I should not buy this game, and then complain to me when it fails.
Bunch. Remember all of these right-wing reactionaries and the people looking to make content by peddling anger and rage and fear and frustration and racism and other forms of
Man, those people are just bad. I do not support that, by the way. I'm personally having a great time and a happy time when things like this happen.
hate and disgusting shit. What they consistently do is they target people who work at these studios that are on the lower rungs of the ladder. What they did was they found this compulsion games community manager on every platform humanly possible, because this is what they do, and they started basically archiving anything she's ever said. And they're pointing to
Okay, what's the point of archiving everything she ever said if that's not a bad thing? I mean, if you archive everything I have ever said, I'm not gonna be too intimidated by that. I'm not gonna even find that a problem because I haven't said anything as heinous as what she has said. Okay? When people have a problem with people looking into their past, it's because it's a shitty past and they have done shitty things.
one tweet which is clearly a joke, and they're saying, "Look at this black woman, she's racist."
Clearly.
It's just the most disingenuous, bullying, harassing type fucking behavior from small men with small little brains. Attacking the community manager at
Yeah, anything anyone does that she doesn't like is pretty bad, pretty stupid, pretty uneducated.
Arrowhead for Helldivers. They were attacking the community manager, I think at EA. They went after community managers because community managers are the most forward facing, the most audience facing people. They are on social media a lot. That's why they are community managers, because they understand social media, which means they have a lengthy and story.
They understand social media so well that they get everyone to hate them. Damn. Man, too bad I don't understand social media that well.
And rich social media history, which is great for them to, mine for a content. I obviously spoke out against the behavior, initially with even the Sweet Baby Inc. piece, but then also with the fact that these people were clearly making community managers, specifically female or queer or.
She's talking about all of these things, but the reality of all of these things at the same time is the fact that Sweet Baby Inc. literally said that they just want to ruin games and make them woke, and they don't care about gaming in general. They just want to subvert the hobby. They just want to subvert gaming in general because they want it less white, more gay and shit. And the same thing with the community managers, okay? How come only some community managers ever get any heat, and how come that heat is always for the same things, aka attacking the player base, aka attacking the future fans, aka attacking the people that could be playing the game,
or people of color community managers, their targets. As a result of that, I became someone that if people wanted to tell their story and they wanted to do so in a way where the person they were talking to understood the kind of culture around the conversation, they would come to me. So luckily,
she's elevating herself so much as this educated, understanding person with this deep, insightful knowledge that somehow can't fucking find a job for some reason forever.
One of the first job that I was able to do after Kotaku, this was my first piece that I did out of fresh out of Kotaku. Not long, I think the day that I announced that I had left Kotaku, I was at Compulsion Games in Montreal. Talked about this a lot. Part of the reason why these people continue to get angry about things is because there is obviously a huge cavernous hole inside of them that they don't know how to fill. And some ways that they try and fill it is by taking other people down. You will never feel satisfied with your life. That is something that money will never.
Yeah. Wait, why is she mentioning money? What the hell? I don't get it.
Fix. And that is something that, you're 15.
Wait, wait. Before she said money, I thought she's generalizing, but now that she mentions money, she probably means, like, legitimately YouTubers who are talking bad things about this, because I guess you can only say bad things about something when, you're empty inside, I guess? Make it make sense, but it doesn't, I know.
15 minutes of fame on YouTube will never fix. So this was the first piece that I did when I went up and I actually got a chance to look at South of Midnight and look at how much love went into this game. Compulsion Games is a small studio. They were bought by.
I love when someone tries to excuse a shitty, badly, poorly designed game with love, okay? And when you hear words like that, you know what's gonna follow? Oh, the art style is so unique and interesting. The music is amazing. Look at the characters or so. And it's gonna be the typical spiel, right?
Microsoft a few years ago. And obviously they got a little bit more to work with, some more runway to work with in terms of funding. That meant that they were able to kind of laser focus even more on the art style. You kind of got a little vibe of their art style in We Happy Few. But this is really kind of like honing in on a very specific kind of stop motion style, looks handcrafted art style. And it is a game that feels, looks, and acts like, like a double A or like an indie. It's not the longest game in the world. It's not going to have combat that rewrites everything you've ever understood about it. But it is a piece of art in the purest sense of the word.
It's art, guys! You must like it because it's art! Guys, it's art! It's good! That makes it good! What is art? Whatever I say it is art. Great arguments. Great arguments, Alyssa. 10 out of 10.
It is exactly what I think of when I make the argument that
You know how it's good? Because you know when she thinks that it's good, it's good.
video games are art, and the commodification obviously of video games, which is something that has to happen, is so different than art on the wall or something like that. And the culture around it has become so enmeshed with this idea of deserving something, or this is the product and the product needs to be good, that these are the same people who will liken a video
Yeah. Yeah, when I buy a product, I typically hope it's good, yeah. Do we not deserve good products? Because it's art? Does this being art make it somehow exempt from basic criticisms?
game not working well when it launches to a car not driving. If your car that you bought doesn't drive and Gam Gam has to go to the hospital, she is going to fucking die.
Oh,
If your fucking video game that you bought
Gam
doesn't
Gam?
work, nothing happens. You just have to get it fixed.
Yeah. And I'm pissed either way. Uh, this is the comic where someone fucks your wife and you're like, well, my enjoyment went down, but their both enjoyments went more up than my down. So in reality, everyone is more happy now, and I should accept this. Bro, what are these absolute insane opinions?
So
Why? Why? How are these people good at making these absolute insane opinions?
likening it to a car is just so stupid and disingenuous. But this is how people feel about games now. They think about games solely as a one-to-one product. I bought, should work, I should like. If don't
Yes. Why not?
like, I will harass. There were people who
That's also completely a disingenuous take, okay? No one harasses anyone because they don't like a game, okay? That's not how this happens. They're constantly shifting. Well, it's not even shifting the goalpost. They're just being disingenuous with these takes constantly. Because they need everything to be some form of harassment or some kind of bad thing like that at the end of the day. Because if it's not, well, then they're wrong and they can't really be wrong. And, you know, it just is not really that great. And they can't allow that to be the case because if it's the case, again, they would be in the wrong, and them being in the wrong is obviously extremely, extremely unacceptable. So they will always try to shift the goalpost in some way, shape, or form. So they aren't wrong, that they are always right, and that you are the bad person in whatever. Even though it's complete BS and everyone knows it.
were all over this, even when there wasn't really any news coming out. Like every other community manager that has faced this ire, the community manager from Compulsion Games had to lock down almost all of their accounts. There's been community managers who have had to relock their accounts when the games have launched because now it's brought back this harassment campaign. And this whole conversation of, oh, well, if you just don't acknowledge them, they'll go away. That's not what's happening. These people are desperate for attention. They are desperate.
Said she who makes everything about herself and somehow tries to make herself a victim in anything.
To feel some sort of validation. And their version of validation is if I harass you enough and you block me, I won. That's not how that works.
Yeah. We agree for once in something because you just made that the fuck up like there's no tomorrow.
If you harass someone so much that they block you, let me put this into perspective. You didn't win anything. You can sit there and try and nip at their ankles like some sort of inbred fucking chihuahua, but at the end of the day, you are attempting to harass a video game studio that's owned by Microsoft, a team of people working on a game that they love, tells a story that's never been told before.
I don't care if they love what they do. That's not my problem. I hate when some idiot says something like that. Oh, they love what they... Then love what you do and fail at it. I don't give a shit.
Before, set in a world that we've never seen before, created in a way that is completely new visually. can sit here.
Okay, there we go. First of all, stop motion is not a new thing. There have been games made in that sense. There have been movies made in that sense. This art style is not unique in the slightest. And again, this is just cope. She's trying to say, "Oh, look at it! It's unique. It's unique. You must like it because it's you." You know what else is unique? A fork without tongs, which you can't do anything with. You know what else is unique? A spoon with a hole in the middle so you can't eat soup with it. Those things are unique, and those things are completely fucking worthless and useless. Okay? Being unique doesn't magically give you uh, an exemption to criticism or an exemption to the concept of being useful.
And shit your poopy diaper over and over and over again and hope that mama change you. But
Bro, that's all. She must have some kind of strange fetish when it comes to that because she's constantly saying poopy and ma. That is a fetish. That must be some kind of fetish thing, right? I believe so. There's no other way. I don't believe you say those words like that constantly and it's not something like that.
nothing is going to change the fact that you have an empty hole right here in your chest and you're trying to fill it with hate. South of Midnight is
Holy shit, I'm a hollow from Bleach. Very cool.
here. It's sitting at a 77 on Metacritic. Kotaku really liked it. Zach over at Kotaku really liked it. Part of the reason why these people
Kotaku really liked it, guys! Bro, no, that's an argument to not buy it.
probably don't like it is because it spotlights race, slavery, poverty, generational trauma, and death. It will upset you. You know, Rihanna Manuel Pena has spoken about
It upsets you because it's bad.
how she kind of couldn't play it because it was like, you know, just traumatizing for her and upsetting for her.
That's because she's probably someone who can't survive in the real world without a bubble around her.
And that's okay. That's what makes it art, is that it moves you. It moves you in a way that changes you, or at least makes you think. That's what art should do. If you're sitting here obsessing over the Steam charts of a video game, you've
I do.
completely lost the plot. You've lost.
Have I? Dude, this is what these people again do. There's so many wild things these people do. They literally are trying to carve out a different reality that everyone should abide by magically because they want to abide by it, okay? Historically, we have always looked at games and called them a success by, well, typically three main criteria. One, an appropriate player count, based on is it AAA, the budget, and all of that things. Two, sales numbers. Three, did the mass majority of the players like it, or is or is everyone shitting on it on the zeitgeist? If it has a lot of players, if it has a lot of sales proportion to is it a AAA game, is it a sequel, you know, how everything else is doing there and whatnot, and did it and you know all of that stuff. And if it tracks, then it's a good game. But these people are trying to say, no, the sales numbers don't matter. No, the players don't matter. The quality of the game doesn't matter. They have literally removed everything that makes a success, and now they're just automatically making everything a success because, well, that's just what they do. They have completely removed any criteria that you could normally gauge as something is good.
The plot. Number one, you've lost the plot because this game is an Xbox Game Pass game and you're looking at Steam charts. I'm sure that Sixth Grade was the best.
Yeah, I'm sure it topped the Xbox charts. I'm sure of it. I'm sure it's still number one most played at this point.
Best 5 years of your life. You're dumb. But number two, you are now once again
said the person that doesn't have a job
and taking a piece of art and you're trying to turn it into some sort of capitalism battlefield. Well, it sold. It did this. Who fucking cares? It's
I don't know. Probably Xbox. Probably Microsoft. You know, the people who are gonna now shut down this studio because it produced shit that wasn't even worth 1/100 of probably the expenses. I think I think that's what's gonna happen.
art that people really cared about, that they put their heart and soul into. The
Again, the studio is gonna shut down. No one is gonna give a shit about this. This is a unanimous disaster.
people at Compulsion were really inspired by a very specific stop motion animation company that is also based in Montreal when they were working on the art design for South of Midnight. And they were so
Okay, the argument now is, oh, the people who made this are inspired, so you should like it. No, no, why? Why should I say something is good just because someone else wants me to say it?
inspired by it that they actually went and did a visit in their studio. They went to their studio and they looked at the way that they made these figures and these figurines, what kinds of materials they needed to do
So?
to needed to use to make certain things look real. You know, how they would mimic the thread in a sweater and how much bigger or smaller it would have to be for something so tiny. You know, how they would make fabric look a certain way, hair look a certain way. They basically reverse
So?
engineered South of Midnight to look as if it was made by hand and animated in stop.
So? Also, the stop animation is really bad. It looks like log, okay? They did not put effort in that shit. Don't even try and tell me. All of the stop animation literally looks like log, okay? Good stop animation does not look like lag.
Stop motion, which is such a cool way
Now look at this.
to make a game.
It looks like it's lagging.
It's such a unique, inspired way to make a game. How do we take this thing that people have been doing and playing and working with forever, and how do we make it feel uniquely our own? And how do we put our touch on it? And how do we put
By doing nothing is the answer.
love into it? And you're really gonna look at that and go, it's only got 2,000 people playing it on Steam.
It probably has way. I would be surprised if it honestly has 200 people playing it on Steam at this point. Shut up.
Goodbye. I beg you to find joy in your life. I beg.
I have joy. I actually have a lot. The irony, by the way, about these people, it's projection. It's always projection. Do you think this is a happy person? I mean, this one, not this one. This is clearly not a happy person. But this one's also kind of clearly not really a happy person. They're constantly just finding something to be enraged about and demand that something gets changed because if it doesn't, life is not right or something like that. They project so hard. They can't be happy, so no one else can be happy. You know how happy I am actually talking about these subjects? A lot. I enjoy shit that deserves to burn down, burning down. I enjoy it a lot. I am a person who fully supports the concept of, hey, you didn't try enough? Well, this is the result, and now you have to pay the consequences. Hey, you thought that you could make some kind of game that literally fits 0.0001 of the population? Well, congratulations. It's stupid. It's burning down. Ugh.
You to find something that makes you happy, because all of this stuff that makes you so angry is just gonna kill you young, brother. The combat was repetitive when I played it, but look at that.
Well, look at that. What the fuck is that?
Look how pretty that is.
Is it pretty? I don't think it is pretty.
So much effort and care into making something unique and beautiful with these losers just look at it for 5 seconds and scream woke DEI.
It's probably just gonna be a lot of, oh, they tried, so that must make it good. Anyway, that was Alyssa Marcante. What a time to be a time. Bye!